Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. I thought we would have a look at another leak list that has been going around, because why not at the end of the day? We'll split this one into two parts once again. The first part will be aviation, and the second part will be ground and naval. When it comes to these leak lists, as always, they are probably fake, but at the end of the day, we talked about it last in December. You guys said, let's cover them. So now you're going to see the ridiculous gong show that gets sent to me on a daily basis. I could literally do a leak list every day for the next 2 weeks. It's that ridiculous. Anyway, let's get into it. The first one is the Su39, which is actually known as the Su39 TM. This is basically a second generation Su25T, and just like stuff like the A10C, it is a full upgrade of the Su25 platform. The idea was to improve its navigation and also attack systems, and also keeping it pretty survivable, meaning that it could get access to new armaments alongside a new radar, the Kopio, as it was known, and basically it can now use some anti-ship missiles, the KH-31, the KH-35, and also the R-77 missiles for air-to-air attacks. So yeah, just an improved platform to improve the munitions, mainly it could carry. The next one is the F-15J, which is of course the Japanese F-15. This was licensed, built by Mitsubishi Heavy Industries for Japan, and it is specifically based on, of course, the F-15 Eagle, which we all know and love. This thing was introduced in 1981 when it came to Japan, and of course is an superiority fighter. The basis of the F-15J is the F-15Cs. The basic difference only is the ECM, the radar warning system, and also the nuclear equipment that's on board. Instead of the ANALQ-135, it was replaced with the JALQ-8 and also the ANALR-56 radar warning system, also replaced the JAPR-4. So the basic thing is some of the internals are different, some of the electronics are different, changed with native equipment, but basically the same. The engines are still the Pratt & Whitney F100s. The vehicle itself can carry all the AMs you'd want it to, and also sidewinders. And of course Sparrows. It does have the 20mm Vulcan, and also it can carry bombs and cluster bombs. It doesn't have any guided munition or anything like that, since it is generally designed for defense. The A10C was also on the list, but we covered that yesterday, so I'm not going to cover it again. Now it's time to have a look at the Chinese edition. This is the Chengdu J10. This is a multi-role combat vehicle. It actually is used by the PLA, or the PLAA, and also their naval forces, and of course Pakistan as well. The vehicle is very much a 2000s era vehicle, still in service to this day in many different variants. And it would be extremely powerful to see in the game right now. Still has the 23mm though, the GSH-23, hilarious. But also the missiles this thing can carry are the PL-8s, 10s, 12s, and of course 15s. It can also carry the KD-88s, the YJ-91s, and has a plethora of different types of bombs that this can carry. It can also carry a bunch of different pods, of course, since it is a pretty modern vehicle, and also is capable of going nearly Mach 2. It does use the WS-10B afterburning engine, which is quite nice, but overall, this thing is crazy modern, and it would be very surprising to see this in the next update. The F4F Ice was also in the list. This is the Improved Combat Efficiency F4F. Basically, in the 1980s, the Germans decided to upgrade their flock of F4s, and they wanted them to be a lot better. The major addition was adding the APG-65 radar, which would be able to use AIM-120 AMRAAMs. And there was also some minor upgrades as well, but generally, that was about it. Phase 1 of the ICE program commenced in 1989 to 1990, meaning that the This technically is a 1990s variant of the Phantom, which is pretty interesting. The Phase 2 of the program also was in 1991, and basically they were used for a decent amount of time until the new vehicles came along for the Luftwaffe. The Mi-8 AMTSH also brings itself along. This is an Mi-8 variant which is specifically designed to be an attack chopper. It was colloquially named the Terminator, which I find quite funny, since it definitely isn't anywhere near that level. The vehicle could have access to two 7.62mm machine gun, then also 23mm pods in the form of cannons. It could carry Sturm 5s, Attacker 5s, Iglas, and also some rocket pods as well. So pretty standard. It could also at the same time carry 26 troops along with all of this stuff, meaning that it is very much a multi-role vehicle. Whether it was ever used in that setup, who knows. The last one for air is the Sikorsky MH-60L DAP, or the Direct Action Penetrator. This is a helicopter from the 1990s, and basically what it is it's a gunship counterpart to the troop-carrying MH-60L Special Forces helicopter. What it can be armed with is pretty much everything you can think of. It can get Hellfires of any variation, Stingers as well, and then also a 30mm M230 chain gun. They can also carry Hydra 70s, the GAU-19 gun pods, the M134 minigun pods on top of that, plus also the good old fuselage side door M134D miniguns. This vehicle has access to all the bells and whistles you would want from an attack helicopter from the 1990s, and eventually would actually be quite a nice addition to the good old Americans, even though they already have vehicles of similar ilk. That's all of the aviation part of the leaks. As always, hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. I'd like to thank Forge, Siegebreak, Carrion Crow, Nicholas Richardson, Elove Goat, Pyman, Winter Scientist, Merciless Reaper, Orange Tail, Teddy, Daniel Stanton, Moxie, B. Young, and also Sem Arslan, Wilkski, Uncle Bean, Derek R., Bareen, Lafouche, and Samuel Slick for supporting the channel.